All right, good morning. Happy Saturday morning. Welcome to this live stream. This is for all the Windows users out there who can't seem to switch to Linux, or maybe you tried, and I don't know, maybe it didn't work out for you. Well, this is your chance to share your opinions, good or bad, and then we'll go from there. I just had some orange juice, so I figured I would do a thumbnail of some oranges for the Good Morning Linux logo. Why not? It's cheerful. You know, if we ever get a National Linux desktop, I think we should have this wallpaper, this thumbnail as a logo. It's bright, it's cheerful. Just a thought. Welcome KO2610. How are you? Again, if you are a Windows user and you have to use Windows because Linux is not for you, share some of your thoughts. I know there's at least 1 billion of you. Not that many. I'm actually doing this from Windows 10. It looks like I am all up to date as of today. No crashes or nothing. Running as smoothly as possible, I guess. Music is from the YouTube audio library, as usual. Looks like the stream is good on my end. Let's go ahead and transition here. I'll show you what I got. There we go. So running OBS as usual. I use this in both Linux and Windows. Got VLC, playlists here from the YouTube audio library. And of course the chat to the right. This is how I usually do it. Hello, Digital Entity. I'm actually having some orange juice right now as we speak. Delicious. KO was a Windows user for 30 years. Wow. Okay. And what Linux are you on now? Is the music too loud? Okay. From 203 to 10, all right. Mint, very good. Yep. I did a live stream last night from Mint on a ThinkPad with only 2 gigs of RAM. It actually worked pretty good. I don't recommend it. But just to prove that it can be done. All right, so you have Windows 10 games. The ThinkPad. Oh, I love ThinkPads. Yes. Pop OS 19. Oh, Pop OS. Okay. All right. Very good, Digital Entity. Jonathan C. Welcome. Hello, Louie. Welcome. It's a dreary morning. raining still, or was raining. Anyway, so I cannot cut the grass. I looked at Pop OS. It's okay. Hey, Joey, Baba Boo. Good morning, Joey. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Joey is one of the smarter ones of the community. He's a Mate user. Us Italians need to stick together. Joey's part of the family, you know. Hank, how are you? All right, so ALC 1220 chip, microphone bugs, lack of a proper DP alternative software would be the main reason for my gaming rig to still on the laptop you switched. Aha. Okay. Well, there are choices. I mean, as far as Linux goes, Joe is just waking up. I'm sorry, Joey. Did I wake you? Did I disturb your beauty sleep? I woke up like around 8:30. I didn't have to get up early, but I don't know. Just one of those mornings. Woke up and figured, well, can't cut the grass, at least not right now, so I might as well jump off a little bit and present a question to the 1 billion users of Windows out there. What's up with Linux? Woke up at 12:34. Hank, you woke up at 12:34. Okay. So Hank likes to wake up at the crack of noon. Yeah, it is an hour behind for you, Joe. Yes, I remember. It is early for you, isn't it? Anyway, that's when I woke up around 8:30, about an hour ago. So I guess, of course, I went to bed a little bit earlier last night, right after the stream. So Hank, especially with the broken sleep schedule. Yeah, that can happen. Of course, when it rains, I tend to fall asleep easier. So, is it a competition? Yes, you woke up 14. Yes, it is a competition. This is a sleep deprivation competition. The person who loses the most sleep gets a cookie. Again, if anybody new is watching and you only use Windows, let's talk. Let's talk. That's okay if all you use is Windows. Nothing wrong with that. Ricardo, you woke up at 4:30. Okay, that is early, my friend. Why did you wake up at 4:30? Yes, not enough sleep is not good. Tom and I chatted about another half hour. Then I went right to bed at just after 11 p.m. Okay, yeah. Yeah, once I ended last night after 2 hours or so, I was tired. Yeah. The new Caden Live has arrived. We'll have to check that out. Very good. Bad sleep schedule is why. Well, let's see. Ricardo, they recommend that for you to get enough sleep, make sure that right before bed you use Ubuntu Mate only as a sleeping tool. No, but supposedly, Ricardo, they say try not to eat past 6 p.m. I know it might be hard, but that's what they say. Try not to eat past 6 p.m. Try to get enough exercise. Try to follow the same sleeping pattern. Watch what you eat. Less caffeine at night. I guess it adds up. Yes, he woke up at 4:30 in anticipation of this. That's right. That's right, Joe. You are correct. Come on. This channel is famous worldwide. All 10 million subscribers. I mean 10,000 subscribers, but hey. I know Ricardo's like, oh, Toss is going to be on. I have to jump on. The burnout started when you switched to KDE full time? Oh my goodness. Okay. Have you tried switching to Ubuntu Mate? Yes, Ubuntu Mate, because the GUI is ugly, you go to bed early. Yes. It's not ugly. I mean, you have 7 panel changes. What do you want? If it bothers you, just grab some Sherwin-Williams paint, a little brush, and you're good to go. Sam's been getting up at 5 a.m. for the last 30 years to go to bed. Oh my goodness. You go to bed between 11 and 12 p.m. All right. Yeah, I'm usually up. Usually I like to get up between 7:30 and 8:30. You feel your PC is 10 years old when you switch to Mate. Well, sometimes older is better. Right, Hank? I just want to go back to Windows XP. Okay. Hello, William. Adele splits from husband Simon. I guess I'll need to give her a call. As long as you get 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I really need closer to 8. I'm like an 8-hour sleep person. Yeah, Sam. Usually. I can do it less, but not every day. William uses Gentoo. God bless you. Yep. Less than a year and runs Mate. I got to give Martin Wimpress, developer, a lot of credit. It rocks. Using Fedora. Ubuntu base doesn't work easily. Well, that's interesting. Okay. KDE is the only distro which satisfied you as a Windows power user. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. KDE is nice looking. Yes, it is. I agree. Louis having one of those mornings. Doesn't like Ubuntu, doesn't like Fedora. Next thing Louis will say, I don't like orange juice. Jonathan C. is hesitant on switching from Windows 100%. Understandable, Jonathan. I cannot switch 100% either until we have a national Linux standard. Now, if I had a Chromebook, if I had a Pixelbook, I would have no problem doing the live streams all from that Pixelbook. I'd have to hook up to an external monitor. But if you want to test Linux somewhat inexpensively, like I said, a ThinkPad, maybe pop in an SSD, buy a refurbished ThinkPad with an SSD, at least 4 gigs of RAM. A lot of them have more, and I think you'll be okay. What makes you stream from Windows? Hank, well, Hank, that is a good question, and when you think about it, think about this. I don't have to convince Linux users to switch to Linux. I'm trying to convince all 1 billion Windows users to at least try Linux as a Windows user. And how do I try to convince them? Streaming from Windows, when you think about it, because I use both. So Windows users don't have to give up Windows to try Linux. So, and that's why sometimes I'll stream from Windows talking about Linux to let them know that you do not have to delete Windows. Maybe that's a good topic for one of these nights, tutorial on transitioning from Windows 7 to Ubuntu or whatever, if people don't care for Windows 10. Yeah, Sam, yeah. And this machine, I got 2 different disk drive, well, two different drives. I don't know if I've done a tutorial about that. But this machine, what I did, since I do not use the CD player, I disconnected the cables from the disk drive, CD drive, and hooked those two cables to the SSD. You have what a SATA cable, and the power cable, right? And that's it. Yeah, and they match. This the same size for the CD drive, for the also for the SSD, and I no longer use the CD drive in this machine, and that's how I do it. So two different OSs on two different drives. You know, that's one way of doing it. For me, the reason I never stream from Linux is a technical reason. Like I mentioned before, the ALC has a bug which introduced severe audio crackling. Yeah, Hank. Linux in general continues to have issues. Well, one of the issues with multimedia. I haven't heard any issues with Chromebooks, but again, those machines are pre-tested, pre-debugged, Hank, to work out of the box. I don't know if the lower end Chromebook is good enough for streaming, if it's fast enough. It probably is. I know the Pixelbook should be fine, and that's the one I would stream full time with if I had a Pixelbook. Obviously, because it's faster, more RAM. So, yeah, Joe, dual boot. Of course, you don't have to dual boot from the same drive. You can have two separate drives. That's probably the best way to do it. If all you have is one machine, it's not that difficult nowadays to back up, making a copy of Windows. I was testing briefly this Asus Toto backup free. Let's see if this will pop up. Sam triple boots. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that may be a little bit much for newbies, Sam. Yeah, this is Asus Toto backup free, and I'm not being paid to, talk about this, just to let you know. But this is a great tool. I was looking at this briefly, where you can what's the word I'm looking for? Copy, clone your Windows 10 to a backup SSD. To make a copy, you should make a copy of Windows 10 anyway, just in case. But yeah, this is a great little free tool. Maybe I'll demo this one day. It is the free version, but I think this will be sufficient. Here it is, system clone. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. AOME backup utility. I've heard of it. Is there a free version of that, Hank? I think the best version out there that's not free, one of the best is Acronis, from what I've seen. I should do it. I don't have a full backup of Windows 10. Probably should. I mean, I back up, folders and documents. Restore points. Yes, that can help. So once again, if we have any Windows people watching who are curious about Linux, or maybe you tried to switch and for you maybe it sucked, I'll be honest, maybe it didn't work. That's okay. Tell us why. The free version exists and it's quite full-featured. Wow, okay. Maybe I'll take a look at that. Sam user Cronus. Yeah, Cronus is probably one of the standards widely used. Hey, the initial sale. All right. Okay, let me save this. Maybe I'll take a look at this. Is this easy to use? Very good. title. Sergey, how are you? Demonetized. Welcome, Sergey. How are you? Discord is a known issue. Okay. Very easy to use, and the backups have proven reliable so far. Okay, cool. I know. Yeah, somebody asked me why am I streaming from Windows. Well, think about it. I'm not trying to convince Linux users to switch to Linux, right? We know how to do that. I'm trying to convince the 1 billion users of Windows, why haven't you tried Linux? And maybe they have valid reasons, so this is their opportunity, if there's anybody watching, to give us their opinion. Also had issues with certain speakers. Okay. A little bit more orange juice for this morning. I'm going to have a pain in my Linux kernels tomorrow if I have to cut the grass after all that rain. Oh well. Maybe if it stops raining today, I can do maybe like half of it or something. I don't know. We are happy we have discovered and tried Linux. Yes, if people on Windows stay on Windows and don't want to try, then they miss a beautiful plan. Well, that's certainly one way of putting it, Sergey. I mean, they should try. And I know for many millions of them, there's that stigma that Linux sucked for beginners, and it did. Years ago it did. It just wasn't newbie friendly. But of course that has changed. You know, and they just... You know, that's why I'm still here, and you know, it's a tough sell. You know, Linux is not a profitable subject, so but it's a tough sell. You know, but you know, I keep pushing along, as it were. I'm happy I discovered Linux, and for what I do, it's perfectly fine. One day, Sergey, I will walk into my local Walmart or Best Buy, whatever, and say, hey, I want to try that Ubuntu desktop, or Linux Mint desktop, or Arch desktop, or whatever desktop. And I don't have to worry about sound issues, or pulse audio issues, or video issues, or graphics issues. And it only cost me $400. What a bargain. Joe Collin, yep. He's done his share of Mint videos and Ubuntu over the course of the few years, and I have too, but evidently, Sergey, what we are doing is not enough. There's still a billion users of Windows, so, you know, and this is still a very tight-knit niche audience, Sergey. Yeah, sometimes Joe gets a little bit more advanced, detailed, and that's fine. I don't do that, but yeah, he's got a good he has a good voice. You know, when it comes to explaining and reaching out to people, maybe better than my own as far as the voice goes. But yeah. But that being said, we still have, it's estimated, close to 1 billion Windows users out there. So the market is there. Again, if there's anybody new watching, we had a few people come in last night who were new. If you're watching and are new, please don't be shy. Say hello. We usually know what we're talking about, and if we don't, we'll find out. We will. That's the plus of the Linux community. We may not have all the answers at that given moment, but we'll find out, and someone will find the answer. Guaranteed. Hello, Sedan Smith. If you are new, welcome to the live stream. It is a tough sell. Many have a lot of years invested in Windows, but I believe the end of Win 7 will see a great increase in... Sedan, I don't think so. I just don't see it. I think we'll see some increase, but again, if people cannot walk into a store and buy a machine at a reasonable price, I don't think we'll see a major increase in Linux usage. We'll see some. You know, Chromebooks are a good example of the power of Linux, but I don't think we'll see a great increase because it is a tough sell. There's very little money in Linux right now. I don't know what the profit margin is for Google on those Chromebooks. You know, on this Linux channel, there's not much money in it, so there is still that stigma. There is still that thought process that Linux sucks. It's just, it's something to tinker. It's cheap. Why should I buy a Linux machine, or why should I pay someone to teach me Linux? It's, it is that. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. It surprises me, these shows exist with automatic updates to the point I had to make that myself. It makes it impossible for me to give Linux to a tech illiterate automatic updates. Oh, you mean like Windows? I'm not sure if that would be a plus though. Heck yeah. Linux users like their freedom. Julie, hello. Good morning. Yes, the latest Ubuntu on LXQT is gorgeous. I totally, Sergey, I would switch to that on my ThinkPad, but they drop 32-bit, which kind of ticked me off in a way. If Ubuntu is made for lightweight machines, like older machines, but they're dropping support for older machines. Hello? Again, that's just me ranting, but Ubuntu is beautiful. But it's only 64-bit, so I can't use it. I've been running automatic updates for a year now. It's great. Barely slows down your PC. When app is updating on the lap, it goes almost very well. Okay. Don't think they hate it if it's not forced. Yes. Greg Miller. You've had Linux, really liked it, except it had no good game playing option. I thought Steam sucked because everything else was better than Windows. I don't game a lot, Greg. It's getting better on Linux, but I completely understand. Once again, as we beat the dead horse again, without a Linux standard, which includes gaming, it's going to be a tough sell to convince Windows gamers to switch to Linux. But I understand. But everything else was better than Windows. Yes. You can always take a 32-bit ISO of an Ubuntu server and install Zorg, and on top of it, but that's too much work, Sergey. Yeah. I guess I could try that. I mean, I don't recommend that for newbies, but yeah, I mean, I could try that. I mean, I do have a test machine, so if something breaks, it's not that big of a deal. But getting back to the LXQT, it's gorgeous. I totally agree. Yeah. It just would have been nice to have Ubuntu out of the box for 32-bit support. Mr. Popescu just switched to Disco Dingo with the rocks. Awesome. Yes, I have tested Antics, Sergey. It is fast. I agree. That's why Linux is adapting Windblow's games in Linux through Proton. Yeah, they seem to be having some success. How do you upgrade Ubuntu 18.04 I do not use Ubuntu. You may have to upgrade to 18.10 first, and then 19.04, Louis. So I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, if anybody else uses Ubuntu, but usually what happens is you need to go from 18 to 18.10 and then 19.04 for an in-place upgrade. You can try it. Try some terminal commands. You can try it through the Synaptic Package Manager. Yeah, that's Louis. That's one of the commands I was just gonna say. Try sudo appdis.upgrade. Yeah, I can't show you now because obviously I'm running Windows, but you can try that. I got this jar of creamy peanut butter in front of me, and it smells delicious. Mmm. To edit the app sources list, otherwise, okay. Yeah, you may have to go from 18.4 to 18.10 first, Louis. Wait, Ubuntu still supports 32-bit ISOs? Well, not really, Jonathan. There's a link there. Sergey, you probably know more about it. They don't really support 32-bit, but yeah. Ubuntu Mate does, Linux Mint does, Ubuntu does, I think, but Ubuntu itself officially stopped. Was it last year? So last night we were able to live stream with 2 gigs for the most part until my machine froze. So here we are at 3 gigs to do this in Windows 10. 3.3 gigs out of 6 gigs. And that's about right. Again, if we have any Windows folks out there, newbies to Linux, please do stop by and say hello. I probably won't be on too much longer. Yeah, I'm not running a camera either, so there you have it. That's true. That is true. Yeah, if you want to run Windows 10, you need at least Well, I have 6 gigs here, and that's probably at least need to. Now, if you're not doing live streaming, obviously, but yeah. Windows 10 is definitely heavier than it was with Windows 7. So yeah. AMD Radeon. And this one. Yeah, that's from the net install netboot. Yes. Yeah, that one's a bit tricky for beginners, Sergey. So yeah. Yeah, aimed at experienced users with special requirements. So, yeah. Yes, there is a guide, but am I really going to show this to newbies to Linux to do it this way? They'll be like, so yeah, I think we'll skip this part for newbies. Just if they want to try Ubuntu, just go with the standard 64-bit installer. It's going to be a lot easier. This may be a bit overwhelming. I don't blame them, you know. I'm not even sure I would have the patience to read all this, but it can be done. If you got a 32-bit machine, just go with Linux Mint, really. So yeah. Hello, Richard. Richard switched to Linux without issues. Very good. Yes. Not for newbies, for Jonathan, no problem at all. Yes. T3 Servo. Is it true that Manjaro has more updated drivers than most other Linux? I have no clue, to be quite honest. Yeah. Here's an article, 10 reasons you should stick with Windows. Lack of software. Well, there's plenty of software, maybe a lack of quality software. That's partially true. Software updates. Don't know about that one. Distributions. Well, there are too many. That can be confusing. Bugs. Yes. I know. We all know Linux and bugs. Support. I don't know about that one. Drivers, yes, that can be a problem, especially with graphics gaming. Okay, I'll give it to Windows. Peripherals, printers can be a problem. Complicated, well, it's gotten easier. Good morning, Roberto. How are you? Happy Easter. Is Linux finally good enough to replace Windows? Well, I think Chromebooks is good enough, that's for sure. Installing Linux is hard. Some Linux is hard. Yeah, lack of Windows software on Linux, yeah. So this article here is partially true. You know, some Linux is hard, but certainly not all of it, so. Look, Linux isn't all bad. If you're a tech-savvy person who loves to tinker, you'll probably have great fun using it. Okay, all right, I could probably agree with that. It's more secure than Windows and it's more customizable. Yep. However, if you're the type who likes to press the power button and have everything just work smoothly and without hiccups, okay, all right, okay, all right. I haven't had those issues with Windows, Joe. I really haven't. Graphics cards, printers, not an issue. It's always been an issue in Linux. I mean, I can make it work in Linux, but in Windows, not an issue. Gaming, yeah, I don't have those issues in Windows. So this article, I'd say it's partially true. Anyway, the question is rather whether you can switch to Linux full time. Why are you trying to force Linux on the whole world? I'm not trying to force Linux on the... Okay, fine. All billion users of Windows 10 or whatever who really hate Windows updates, yes, they should be forced to Linux. Can I switch? I would love to if we had a national desktop, Richard. Sure, I could see myself switching to Linux full time. But we don't have a quality standard, except for Chromebooks. So, yeah. Printer issues on Windows 7. Well, Windows 7 is going to go away this year, but you really shouldn't have any issues with printers, of all things. I don't know, Joe. I no longer have any Windows 7 in use. So, yeah, the printers work fine on my Windows 10. You have potato PC, so you use Linux. Is that mashed potatoes or chopped? Yeah, Richard, there's a lot of people, obviously millions, who are fed up with the Windows update process. And they may not know how good Linux can be. So it's not really forcing them to switch. Maybe I'm forcing them to try Linux, but I hate to use the word force. Nobody wants to be forced to do anything except to install Windows updates. Die. Robert Lopez asked us, I do not have a Mac. I wouldn't mind testing a Mac if somebody sent me a Mac, but yeah, I don't have the budget to buy a Mac. I've been asked to. I can only go by from what I've been told, and Macs are pretty stable. They don't have the update problems they do in Windows, and for multimedia, Macs are superb machines. They are a bit overpriced, I would have to agree. Again, without having one, I can't say for sure. Like I said, I would have no problem testing a Mac and running it every day. You're right, Richard. There is no such thing as a national OS. Well, that's what we need. That's what we need to convince the 1 billion Windows users to walk into their store, whether it's a Walmart or a Best Buy, grocery store, and see that Ubuntu machine or Linux Mint machine or whatever for about $400. A normal shopping experience, Richard. That's what I think what it will take to, to convince Windows users that Linux can be an option. But I'm not talking about the worldwide community or the different distributions. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a physical machine that you would walk in the store to make it as easy as buying oranges or apples, you know. Yeah, just force them to use Gentoo. Yes, I'll send them all your way, Sergey. So when they scream at me, why did he say to use Gentoo? Let me send you to my tech support guy, Sergey. He knows it all. Ba-da-bum-bum. See how much fun we have on these shows, Windows users. You're missing all the fun. Alan B. Macs are stable and virus resistant. Yes, I would agree, sir. Yes, they are. And because they are stable, that would be the only reason why I would spend the time to test a Mac. Richard Lell says, my solution to the need for Windows, Debian testing due to desire for a rolling release is simply run Windows 10 in VirtualBox. That is an option. Again, I cannot recommend that for newbies, no. Look, there's nothing wrong in walking into a store and buying a computer with whatever, and all you want to do is plug it in, turn it on, set it up, and good to go. It's not evil, you know, or anything. It's just a matter of convenience. SketchUp, they said they would if there were enough Linux users to ask for it. Well, yeah, that is encouraging. I cannot recommend Debian for newbies, Richard. Yeah. Again, we are all Linux users. We are not virgins when it comes to Linux. So we have to, or I have to put myself in the mind of a complete newbie. And it's difficult after all these years, I will admit it. But I have to put my mind in their mindset and say, okay, now what have you heard about Linux? Well, you know, it's gaming sucks and this and that. It's buggy. It's hard. I said, well, time out. Time out. Maybe that used to be the case, but not anymore, you know. Debian Stable is excellent. I've tested it before, but what is the best high-end video card for Linux? AMD or, well, yeah, I mean, the NVIDIA. I was looking at a machine, the GeForce 1060. I guess it's fairly high-end, but see, I don't do a lot of gaming, so more like video, rendering T3. But I mean, they're both good. AMD or NVIDIA is both good. Yes, a complete newbie should never install Linux alone. Exactly. However, a complete newbie should not have a problem buying a machine from their favorite store, whether it's Ubuntu or Linux Mint or anything, because it's been pre-tested, pre-debugged, and works out of the box. Then that would be fine for a newbie. But I agree, a complete newbie should never install Linux alone. Totally agree. Yes, Ubuntu Mate, newbie friendly. Yes, Ubuntu Mate is a nice candidate for a national machine. Totally agree with that. What's up, Ricky? You missed Steve Jobs. Tim Cook is the Hillary Clinton of tech CEOs. Well, Steve was a visionary, that's for sure. Yes. Yes, dual booting can be a challenge. Yes, 2 hard drives is the best way to do it. Yes, since the prices have dropped on SSDs, I totally agree. So we should have Arnold Schwarzenegger as a spokesperson for a national Ubuntu. You must try Ubuntu. Linux is fantastic. Windows will be terminated. Blah. Look at this. Wouldn't that be something? Ubuntu spokesperson is a terminated. Blah. Why are you using Windows? It's ridiculous. Thank you, Arnold. Look at this Ubuntu. It has this big kernel. It's so big. Wow. Oh my, too much orange juice, too much sugar this morning. Alright, it is 10:03. We'll give this another few minutes or so. Again, if we have any new people watching and you have questions about Linux, feel free to call Joe in Chicago. He'll answer all your questions. Anyway. Let's wrap this up in about 10 minutes. So let's make this the 10-minute warning. We'll say 10:15. I'm out of here. So again, if you are new and have a question and we're afraid to ask, please ask your question. Say hello. Have a rant? Go right ahead. It's okay. Yep. Icy Docs. That sounds like a beer. Hey, for Easter, I'm going to celebrate drinking some Icy Doc. Hey. Anyway, nice cold beer. What's up, Joey? Baba boo. If it's Windows, the hand-holding will come from all those updates. Well, newbies need hand-holding. You know, what are you gonna do? That's just who we are. Lolly 2.0. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Yes, Richard, I agree. ThinkPads rock. The older T is for terrific. I agree. Vince. Yeah, I've been on since about 9ish, Vince. I'm going to wrap this up here and go on with my day, mate. So, you're a little late, but that's okay. You Australians never are on time anyway. But a bump. What's up, Vince? Missed you last night. Did you come on last night's stream? I don't think you did you? Or did you? I don't remember. Yes, everyone to Linux, of course. Yes. Zorin 15. I tested. It looks and feels terrific. Yeah, it's fine to test. It is a beta. But yeah, it seems perfectly fine. Yes. I know you've been stuck with the flu or a cold, sleepy. Yeah. Newbies need hand-holding on any OS. I don't think they'll need hand-holding with Windows because it works out of the box, right? Yeah. BSD for sure. They're gonna need hand-holding. Even I couldn't get into BSD, Richard. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, Vince, you've had been sick now for what, 2 weeks or something? I agree. Never use beta. If it's your only machine, Lolly, yes. If you have a separate machine like I do, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, they'll probably have the full release, the final release, probably sometime this summer for the Zorin. Yeah, but if you have only one machine, yeah, I do not install alphas and betas. Yes. Yeah, Ubuntu has a pretty nice installation guide. The last time I saw, Linux Smith has a decent one. Yeah, Linux Smith is not stable after updates. I have not heard that, Lolly. Yeah, it's stable for me. Sabayon, a bad choice. I do not use Sabayon. I say goodbye to Sabayon. Alan asks, why do women engage in boxing so common and not ladylike? Maybe that's a topic for a different show, Alan. I don't know. Some of these mixed martial artists, females, dang, they are some tough chicks. I agree, it is not ladylike. Ladies should be lady and men should be men. Happy Easter, Richard Lell. From Rick and Rita in Birmingham. God bless you too. Thank you. Proton, play on Linux. Why? For me is not a problem. Wait for Zora 15. Yeah, that question is all for the billion Windows users out there, Lolly. Yes. Windows works out of the box only if it comes pre-installed. Yes. Most people have no idea how to install it. Yes. Alright, that's what I want a national desktop for Linux. Pretty much the same way. Out of the box, ready to go. When it breaks down, they typically call tech support that rips them off. Well, that certainly does happen. Yeah, Sleepy. I normally cut grass or try to cut grass on the weekends, but it rained all day yesterday, and the grass is still a little bit soggy. If I try to cut in that, it'll just, yeah, well, So if it rains, chances are I'll be on. Rain equals streaming. That's what they say anyway. All right, 5-minute warning. If there's anybody new out there, you have a question or something about you don't understand about Linux before I wrap this up. I don't think I'll be on this evening. Oh, big sale tomorrow, Big Lots. I got a notification. Okay. Should just jump in the shower, run over to Brooklyn Bagel, and grab a bagel and some cafe. I like this song. Spring in my step. Good one. Houston, we have a problem. People can't switch to Linux. Yes, so far they cannot. At least not the majority. Some of us have. We just got to convince Windows users that at least try. You know, you can at least try. And if you want an out-of-the-box experience where it just works, then buy a Chromebook. I mean, $200. Come on, give it a shot. It's peanuts. Yep, it's Windows 10. Well, I got an outdated machine too. This has an AMD A6 processor. It's probably comparable to a Intel i3, so it's gonna chug. Cool little song. Wake up to this in the morning. Spring in my step. Hello, Farron. Just about to wrap this up. Let's finish up the stream with Summer Smile song. Then I'll say arrivederci. For some reason, Linux Smith disables wake on LAN by default. Oh, okay. I don't know about that. Well, Lolly says, amazing channel. Your English is fine, Lolly. Thank you. Glad you could stop by. Okay, AJ, I'm waiting for the punchline. You can tell that you have a virus on that PC. What's the punchline? Johan. Hello, Johan. Bada bing! I figured that was the punchline, but I would let you have it. You can turn on the desktop from the couch with your phone. Okay. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Good tune. Yes, it is. Don't forget to check out the links below in the show notes if you would like to support the channel. Check out the links below, and thank you for all of your contributions over the years. Very funny, Sleepy. Yes, it's wind blows. Again, I do these sometimes from Windows to tell Windows users you don't have to give up Windows to try Linux if you're scared. And that's why. God bless you too, Jonathan. Rose made some cinnamon buns. Nice. Nice. Cinnamon. They don't have cinnamon at the bagel shop, but they got Italian biscotti. Joe knows what I'm talking about. Those long biscotti. Delicioso. Happy Easter. EB is streaming. Yes. Is he on this trucker game? Not this buns discussion again. Well, I like different kinds of buns too that I can't discuss on this family channel. Ever notice how us now diehard Linux users can only say wind blows? I think I'm the only person that, unless somebody says it, I do not say wind blows. I will not be watching EB. I gotta start my day, so yeah. Haven't had a blue screen in a while, Alan, in Windows 10. Yeah, it's For me, I've been fairly lucky. I still don't care how long the updates take, but as far as blue screens or anything like that, it hasn't been too bad for me. So yeah, it's going to be the 60s here today. So anyway. Well, for those of you who are in my time zone, it is morning. Enjoy your breakfast with your Ubuntu oranges. I like that thumbnail. That's a cool looking thumbnail, don't you think? It's got the Ubuntu orange color, you know. All right. When I was in Best Buy a couple weeks ago, they had a massive Windows illuminated sign. And if you, yeah, well, I'm waiting for the day where you walk into a Best Buy and there'll be a massive illuminated Ubuntu sign. You say, "Hey, there's Toss." I'll say, "Joey, come on over. I have a dream." Wouldn't that be something? The debut of the Ubuntu store at Best Buy. How about them apples? Or them oranges? Oh my. I don't know. Does Best Buy even have Chromebooks? AB is in the house just in time for me to say goodbye, goodbye. Yes, always on this show, it always comes down to food. Buns and cinnamons and oranges. Yes, I can be the Ubuntu Employee of the Year, pushing Ubuntu, or at least Ubuntu Mate. But that's my dream. Walk into a Best Buy, and there we have the Ubuntu, the store within the store, right? The Ubuntu store. I could tell Windows users using Windows, forget about it. See, you guys say wind blows. I don't. You know. Okay, well, on the cinnamon, I guess we'll end this on the cinnamon buns note. Nice to see you on here, Evie. Always a great chatting with you when we do chat on the Rocco Show on the Big Daddy Linux. So, are you on Peppermint now? Man, you distro, you hop more than a bunny hops in a given day. Let me tell you. Wind blows. Okay, very good. Yes, a giant light up Ubuntu sign. Yes. All right, Farron, everybody. Yes, ciao. Have a good Easter weekend. Happy Easter. So yeah, we'll look for something tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe live. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Just make sure you have you click the notification bell if I jump on live. We'll see. If I do, it'll be in the morning my time. So, Peppermint, EB, okay. Distro hopping, you have more hardware. Okay, all right, very good. Yes, or a Linux Mint sign. That would always be fresh. But a bump bump. I agree. Okay. Thank you all. Happy Easter. Something comes up, you guys know how to reach me. Have a safe holiday weekend, and arrivederci.